One. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of ArmTalk. I'm your host, Jody Chocolate Thunder Williams, and tonight, my guests, they come from the South, right? They got some good stuff going on. I'm kind of jealous because per capita, the South got a lot of people down there. In fact, it seems like there's always a tournament every 3 weeks in shouting distance, all right? So, Josh Hardin, who will be joining us momentarily, but right now, I still got Daniel Swords. Is it Swords?
Swords, like the weapon.
Swords. Okay, so I got Daniel Swords on the show. Daniel, welcome to the show, my man.
What's up, brother? Good to see you, man.
Yes. So you got this event coming up, right? And when I start seeing the flyers, I was like, oh, okay, and then I start seeing the matches. And let's get right into it. The headliner is Jason Merlot is going to be on there. Now, we know what Jason is, right? The guy was the face of Knuckles Up. He ran through everybody in every tournament here in Utah and stuff. And not here, but in Utah. Yep. He got his first taste of East versus West. Didn't go his way, but he's going to bounce back. But he's going to be on you guys' tournament on your card. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so Gia.
What's up, Josh?
There he is. What perfect timing, brother. What's up?
There we go. I made it.
How was that steak?
It was very good. Very overdue.
Nice.
So Josh, we were just talking about the you guys' event coming up, the main event, featuring Jason Merlot. So I was gonna have Dan take it away, but you guys know more about the pullers than I do, so I'm gonna let y'all run with it. So what we got? Main event, Merlot, yes?
Yep. So Gia, not many people know about Gia. He is he's out of DC, by the way of the country Georgia.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he showed up about a year ago to one of our tournaments and just demolished the class. He won that 198 class, right hand, left hand, and shoot, I think the next 3 tournaments after that, or at least 2 or 3 tournaments after that, showed up. So basically, we ain't never seen anybody give him a match, and so we talked to him, and he's like, guys, get me a top 10 guy, and I'm like, we're on it, we're working on it, see what we can get for you, and talked to a few different guys, and hit up Jason. I think Jason might have been like number 6 or so at the time. It was before the Utah event, and
okay.
Yep, it was before he became number 1. So we were locked in and everything. Then he went out to Utah, and then we don't know what happened out there. And which was even better. I hit up Gia. I'm like, hey, guess what? I'm like, Jason's number 1 left hand now, and number 3 right hand. And so it just makes it more sweeter. We had to update the match card. We were working on those at the time, and so I think that the match is a question mark to me because I've never seen anybody give Gia a match. So right. He's obviously a high level guy, and we'll see. I mean, I can't wait to see that first round, that first ready to go, and they're going to be pulling on both arms, and the left arm match will be the main match since it's the number 1 North America 198.
I think what makes this match intriguing, and you guys can double check as Lucky. She's in the chat. What's up, Lucky?
What's up, Lucky?
That you guys know Gia more than we do, and I'll be honest, I know nothing about Gia, so you guys know Gia, but then have you ever seen Gia compete against somebody of the caliber of Jason Merlot? And that's something we're going to find out, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I will tell you what I do know. There's not a lot of info about Gia out there, but what he's told me, and I'm sure he's going to be on some podcasts here soon, and he'll probably share his story. But what he's told us is that he started training with Irakli in Georgia. You know who our Levon's training partner?
Oh yeah, actually, we have a Georgian out here in the Pacific Northwest. His name is Bakhtan. He also will train with those guys over there too. So Georgia's taking over the country.
So supposedly they started together and trained years together before he came over here to DC and all that. And I think he's in law school right now. I think Gia's in law school. But yeah, such a great guy. And, you know, him and Goga, you might know who Goga. Yeah. So they're tight. You know, and Goga's in Virginia. He's our number one 220 guy right now, both arms.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't realize he hit me up. He was like, "How do I get ranked?" I'm like, "You live in Virginia?" He's like, "Yeah, I've lived here for 7 years." I'm like,
Yeah, we had been running the rankings for like 3 years already, and I guess he was like, "Oh, let me hop on this real quick."
So you guys run the rankings, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's just now how do you guys do that? I'm just kind of before we get into you guys' backgrounds in the sport. How do you guys run your rankings out in Virginia?
So 2023, we did a massive Virginia only round robin.
Okay.
And that's how we got the initial rankings. And then going forward, we do like super match call outs based on tournament wins and whatnot. So if you beat somebody in a tournament, you can call them out for their spot. So it's not just like a instant thing, because I know you can have a war with somebody from Maryland and then turn around and the number 9 guy is right there and he smokes you. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So
I
wanted
was
to incorporate that.
That's the reason why I asked you, because out here in Oregon, we have it, but then we had to like adjust some of the rules. It got to a point now where has to be super match based. Because the fact that, like you said, if let's just say if me and Dan are pulling and we get into a war, we're in the same weight class, you know, I'm thinking, okay, I barely survived, but I'm just smoked. But you had a bye, and guess what? I got to pull you next. You're fresh as a daisy. You smack me down, thinking, okay, you got the win. But then there's always question marks like, okay, well, can you do that fresh for fresh? So to kind of take away that element out here in Oregon, we decided to go super matches only. Now, what we used to do, and we're going to change some things here and there. We had a what we call the Oregon rankings practice. So basically, you would call people out. We have nothing but super matches that day. You know, we got our refs and everything, and they're for rankings. You know, which is fine. But we also said you don't have to wait for that to happen. You can call somebody out anytime you want. Just make sure you have a referee and video footage. That way, the people in charge of the rankings can make the adjustments if they need to. So, but it's still a work in progress because you got new people taking over now. But that's enough about that. Let's talk about you guys. How'd you guys get into the sport? How long you been in the sport and all that kind of good stuff?
Oh, you're gonna make me start?
You first.
Okay. So I guess 2019-ish, I was like, I was training powerlifting or whatever, and I came across Juji Mufu, the YouTuber.
Yeah.
And he was getting into arm wrestling, and I did that like, lunchroom stuff at school, and he had a meetup downtown at the National, and I was like, oh, it's at a WAL event. I was like, oh, let me go check this out. And then I think Juji was going against Aiello at that.
Yeah.
One. And I went there, met Barboza, met the Jedi. I can't remember his
Giannis Ambulance, the Jedi?
Yeah, Giannis Summit. And one of the local guys, Stan Walku, he was like, hey, you want to come to a practice sometime? And that was it. From there, I just took off. So I've been in since 2019.
Nice.
Getting after it.
So what's your weight class?
242.
There you go. 242. There it is. Dan, what about you, sir?
He's our number one in the state, 242.
Oh, yeah?
Perhaps.
Yeah, both hands. Gosh. Yeah, start warming up, Jody.
Oh, look at you. You got the hammers and everything. Yep. All right. Nice.
Yes. So all of our number one guys, they're all hammer holders. Yep.
Really? Okay. All right.
And it can be, it's like the Stanley Cup. You can lose the hammer, and just like the legacy hammer, you get your name on it. If
really?
Like name and like year.
Hey, show that close to the show that closer. Oh, okay.
So if it changes hands, we get them re-engraved with a new person on it.
Nice. Oh, that is. Do the girls have that too?
Lucky's got 2 hammers.
Yep.
That's why I asked that, because she says, and the girls, can't forget them, right?
Yep.
Yeah. See, you got Macho Man says that's so cool, and that's what I like about stuff like that is because not all of us, and this goes back to the 98% people, right? The theory. What's the reason behind 98? Because not all of us are the elite pullers, right? So when you have 90, we're like 90%. You got the elite guys, they got their own world, they got their own thing going on. Then you got us who still want to compete. Let's have some fun with it. How come we can't have a legacy hammer? So I got this challenge coin. Matter of fact, I think it's in my dresser. Let me grab that right quick. And what it is, it's a challenge coin I won against my opponent at Washington State this year. And so what it is, as you can see, here it is right there. It's probably too much glare, but
There we go.
Yeah, so there's that on the back. It's got established in 2025. So what that is,
Nice.
there it is. So what is a challenge coin? So what this is now I got to make a video. So because my next match is against Easton McCormick out of Nebraska. He trains with Wallace Dilly, and everyone's telling me, dude, that guy's a beast, and I know what I'm up against, right? He's like 6'3", 260. He's probably not going to lose weight at this point, and we're not pulling for any kind of rank or anything like that. It's just going to old-fashioned exhibition super match because we're going to go support Bolson at that Fallen Heroes event in Kansas City. So I figured, just like the legacy hammer that you guys got, this is going to be a challenge coin. So I'm challenging Easton McCormick, and I'll make an official announcement in the next couple of days, whatever. And then that way, if he beats me, the coin is his, but now it's his responsibility to challenge somebody else. Here's the coin, and then
nice.
Keep that thing in circulation. So, man, obviously you can't get your name engraved on it, but it keeps the coin in circulation. So that'll be something cool to do, because again, not all of us are the elites. So I like the hammer thing with the name engraved, and you can see, because I know Louisiana does those belts, on like the side planks, it'll say the year you won that particular weight class and stuff. And the agreement is, if I'm not mistaken, is that because Louisiana States happens every year, that if you can't make it, if you can't make it, then you got to ship the belt back to them 3 weeks prior to the event. But yeah, I mean, I like that. So Dan, where are you sitting at weight wise?
I pulled in the 198 class.
Okay.
I was 206 this morning, so I got a few pounds to lose. There's actually another event that we're going to be a part of that's happening on the 17th, so next Saturday.
Okay.
It's the Stonewall Super Brawl, and so basically a collaboration. Our buddy Tommy Edens out there, the welded shut arm wrestling team.
Yeah.
He put together a super match event, and it kind of morphed into something a little bigger. And he got Paul Passmore is going to be at that event. He's pulling Bryce Meadows. And
I did see that. I was like, that's an interesting match, and I'm a good friend of Paul's. And what I'm hoping is that the one flaw, if there's a flaw that Paul has, is that, and when I say conditioning, I don't mean that he's out of shape. What I mean by is the fact that if it's best of 5, more times than not, he'll get the jump on somebody 2-0, but then he kind of gasses out. And I'm hoping, I need to talk to him too about it, but he loves that hook drag, which is good. It's very powerful. He can go toe to toe with anybody in that move. Problem is, you don't want to burn yourself out, because if that guy tends to come back and you're gassed out, then all of a sudden now you're suspect to any kind of move, a top row, anything like that, because you're so gassed out. So I got to talk to him and go, hey, man, let's make sure you have a secondary move. That way you're not just going in, because I saw that in the last Knuckles Up last January, a year ago, actually this month, against that Korean guy, went up 2-0, lost 3 straight. We're like, damn, Paul. And I was rooting for him. And then we're all on Team USA for the Independence Cup at Arm Gods. And him and James Wall went back and forth. And he lost a banger, but he came back the next day in the tournament and just blasted everybody in his weight class and got one of them. I got a couple of dragons back here too, and got one of those dragons at Winter Blast. So I was like, yeah, okay, here we go. But Yeah, that's going to be an awesome event. So tell me exactly how many inches you guys normally get around your events.
So we used to hover around like 180 ish,
Mm-hmm.
and then we had the Devon event this past May, and then we jumped to 350,
Right.
and then now we're sitting around 250 for everything after that. So not too bad. I'm not
So
sure how much this one next weekend is going to be. The classes are a little funky, and it's 2 or 3 weeks before ours.
right. So the group chat we're in, I'm looking at it. February 7th is the Conquest event, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, let's go ahead. Bart was going to be the head ref, yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's that. But also, I'm looking at these jerseys. I'm like, these are fucking nice. Like, yeah, everyone has the black jersey, but I got the aqua in the teal turquoise trim on the V-neck and on the sleeve. I'm thinking, man, those are pretty nice, man. And they got all the sponsors and stuff on the back. Those are nice, man. I have to say that's pretty. And then like the medals, I was talking with Dan earlier before we went live, and what I like about it, the color makes it pop, right? I think I said that in the group chat. But I'm looking at these medals going, man. So tell me something. What's the difference? Because there's one picture where it has the Conquest on there, but then the other one has Virginia Arm Wrestling. So what's the difference between the two?
So I think the full like horse and everything is the pro medals, and then the ones with just our logo should be the AMs.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah. The big one, the square ones, that's a 4-inch metal, and then the AM one, yeah, that's a 3-inch. So,
but yeah, those are like, whoo, those are nice. Yes. So everybody, February 7th, get down there. Those are pretty. Go win you one. Now let's talk about the rest of this match card over here. So we got because we got some bangers of a match. We got Tim Lewis and Eric. How do you pronounce Eric's last name?
Prokopi?
Is that how you pronounce it?
I think so.
Yeah, I guess so.
So what do we know about Eric? I know about Tim Lewis. It seems like that dude got like a super match like every weekend. That guy, if there's any person that's his nickname should be the Road Warrior, because every weekend he's on the road.
It's crazy how far he'll go.
Yes, I mean taking matches and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He went to IFA Worlds this past fall. So yeah, I mean that guy. Yeah. So honestly, what you don't want to do is go into a hook with him, because that's.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Josh has pulled him.
Yeah, I pulled him.
How'd that feel?
2 years ago. Dude, I felt good, and then like put the stop on me. Hydraulic bicep, bro. It's crazy. It's just like you can't get him out of there.
Yeah, it's like
stuck in there.
If you can keep his wrist, I don't know if you can see this here.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and let me do this. Okay. If you can keep his wrist like this, you're fine. But if his wrist goes even remotely like that, it's done. Like that's like holy, you know what I'm saying? So Lucky says she needs to get a jersey this year. She's been slacking on getting one, so there you go.
Come on, Lucky.
What else we got on the agenda for that day? We also got is he pulling the father and son? Because you got Eric per copy, then you got Grayson per copy. So is he pulling father and son? Is he beating up on the family? Is that what we're doing?
Let's go generational wins here.
So
has anybody done that before?
I don't know.
So Grayson was just on Monster Factory.
Yeah, I thought that name sounds familiar. I was like, I just heard that name somewhere. Okay.
Well, I think he met them at Worlds, and and that's kind of how these matches spawned. But then Grayson just had a match at Monster Factory, won, I believe, 3-0, like pretty dominant.
Right.
And so I think they're out of Florida maybe. So
Tim's pulling the dad best of 5 right, and then he's pulling the son best of 5 left.
Yep.
I've never seen that before. Like seriously, I've never heard that before. I'm like, okay.
Should be definitely interesting.
Austin Johnson versus Sam Palmisano, is that how you pronounce his last name?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going best of 3, left and right. So what can you guys tell us about these gentlemen?
These are they're fairly new in the sport. They're also really young. I think they're both under 18. So I think they're both trying to get their arm wrestling careers started up. Sam and his dad joined us at the Devon event. I think they
Okay.
both did pretty well.
And this next match, and these matches are not in order, but this next match I'm going to, this is where you guys come in at because you guys do the rankings, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have a Virginia ranking match, 198-pound best of right hand, J.R. Helton versus John Williams. Because J.R. is ranked number 3, John's ranked number 2. What are we looking at? 198. Dan, that's your weight class, ain't it?
It is, and I've pulled them both.
All right,
Yep.
well, let's hear it. You're not refereeing, so you could actually talk about it, right?
Yeah. I mean, they've pulled before.
Right.
I think they've had 1 or 2 super matches already. John's been climbing the ranks. I think a couple years ago, John was in the 220s and he came down to 198s, and he's been climbing the ladder. Of course, he's number 2 now. JR, same thing. He's got that hydraulic bicep and kind of has this like open King's move style, and is really hard to pin. John, he can go anywhere on the table. Dude can go anywhere he wants. Very strong, very intense. I would say he's the favorite because he won last time they pulled too.
Right.
I can't remember the score, but yeah, he would be definitely the favorite right now, I would say. But JR, I would say JR has leveled up, and he's been in the sport for a little while, and each time I arm wrestle with him, I feel like his hand and wrist has gotten stronger. Used to, I was able to kind of get through his hand pretty easy, but last time we pulled, I was like, bro, something's different. And he said he's been training that wrist and hand, and it just goes to show you that you can be, in your 50s and train your wrist and hand and level up, bro.
Hey, I'll be 50 next month, man. I know exactly what you mean.
There we go.
Yeah, you can still level up. I mean, and and he has a hit now. He has a more of offense. He used to kind of be more defensive, but he has an offensive side to him now. So, it's gonna be a good match. It'll definitely be. JR just pulled a dude named Voodoo. I don't know if you've heard of Voodoo.
I've heard of Voodoo. Yeah.
They just pulled down in North Carolina. Crazy war. Voodoo, he pulled out the win, but I mean it was 3-2, and I thought Voodoo was gonna break his arm, and he got through it, man. It was a crazy war. So,
I'm looking at this photo, and when we get off, I'm gonna go ahead and post all these on here too, and give you guys some love. But I'm looking at this picture of JR in this poster. I'm like going, that dude makes 198.
It's all in his biceps. It's all.
I'm looking at this dude going, that's a thick dude, but he made 198. I'm like, man.
Yeah,
and then John's looking. Stud. These guys are making one. They must ain't got no legs because I'm looking at both these guys going, they making what? Because John looks like he could be a 242 guy, right?
Yeah, I don't have legs either. That's the only way I can make 198 as well.
JR looked like he could be about just from the waist up, from the arms of the guy, he could be 220.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they make it.
Stan Walku, how you pronounce that? Walku?
Mm-hmm.
Walku, and then you got Big Ted. Yeah, I know Ted. It's like he's been training, and then it's like he's kind of quiet. He kind of does his own thing. He's training hard and stuff. So don't know Ted personally, but I mean, I know Ted. I know it's like Christina. What do you guys think about that match?
I think it's gonna be a good one. Stan is kind of I guess he's our 220 gatekeeper right now.
He's number 2.
Yeah. He's pretty good. And I really haven't seen much from Ted other than a couple super matches around, Carolina ranking stuff, but I think it's going to be a good one. Ted's dropping down from like what, Dan, like 2?
Yeah, he
My class.
posted today. I think he made his 209 weight class for.
Yeah.
So Ted has his tournament this Saturday.
Oh,
The
nice.
Camel City Classic.
Camel
yeah.
City,
So
yeah.
shout out to Camel City, North Carolina. Yeah, they got some banger super matches and their tournament and all that.
Custom
And
trophies too.
I
Nice
I felt Ted's at the Devon event, and I think at another event we did a little bit of after pulling. He has a really strong hand and wrist, and
Right.
he's very, very technical. So I think that this match could be an interesting match. I mean, I know Stan. I won't stand strong. I won't even arm wrestle him. He just destroys me. So, but I think this could be a really interesting match. So it's a question mark for me too. So
Now, is this going live or what?
Yeah,
Yep.
we'll be live on YouTube.
Okay. So,
Yep.
I mean, what channel am I looking at if I want to see this thing? So,
The Virginia Arm Wrestling League YouTube channel, just like that.
and that's February 7th, correct?
Correct.
Mhm.
We'll also
Okay.
be live for the Stonewall Super Brawl too on that channel
Okay.
for the Bryce and Paul match.
Okay, Josh, you're not the woods, buddy, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, you got a hammer match, by the way.
I
Talk
do.
to me, man. Byron Tibbetts versus yourself. And
Oh
it's
man,
the left-hand best of 5 for the hammer. What's up? Talk to me.
back in August, we got the left hand. I was asleep, brother. Byron caught me sleeping, beat me. Basically pinned me left-handed, but won on fouls. So I'll be awake. It's right for beginning of the tournament. No brackets yet, so I'll be fresh. I'll be ready to go.
Now, are you also pulling the tournament too?
That one probably not.
Okay. Well, I mean, if it's for the hammer, you got to pull your eggs in that basket and go, look, man, I want to make sure that my number one job and my number one priority is to make sure that hammer comes back home with me.
For sure.
I get that. So, see, even here, there's Lucky.
Come on, all right. Mods banner from the chat. Get her out of here.
Oh, man, the hecklers are out, boy. The hecklers are out.
I'm gonna flag that one.
So tell me something, guys. 2026 is still early, super early. What does the year have planned for you guys? Who wants to go first?
I can go. I mean, I would say the goal, at least for the VAL, is to just level up a little more than we did from last year, which is kind of going to be hard because we kind of put ourselves in a bind with having Devin Larrett down last May. And
what do you mean by that?
Well, he's kind of a high. Like when you bring Devin in, that's kind of like the pinnacle. You know what I'm saying?
Top that. You know what I mean?
And I had some people after like, man, it was an awesome tournament. It was like a day that a weekend I'll never forget. You know what I'm saying? And
is that the tournament Logan Benninger got a pin on him?
It is.
Okay. Logan skyrocketed,
Yeah.
So I'll tell you about that day. Like, so I picked up Devin from the airport. Me, Alden's in the back. My cousin Job Swords is in the back seat, and we're coming up 295. And Devin's like, "All right, buddy, what's the game plan this weekend? What do you want me to do?" And he's like, "Anything you need me to do." I'm like, look over. I'm like, "Would you pull in a tournament?" And he's like, "Absolutely, I would love to." I'm like, "Are you
already
serious?"
know the answer to that.
I'm like, "You serious?" And because I'm thinking like, the dude's demand like maybe there's contract stuff. And he's like, "I'd love to." And I'm like, "Dude, you're gonna like make people's dreams come true if they could grip up with Devin in a real tournament." And so that's awesome, And Alden's gonna pull in a tournament. So we get the early weigh-ins. Someone brings an arm wrestle table. There's a line out the door. We arm wrestled all night at early weigh-ins.
Of course.
Peel out of there. Go to eat at a restaurant, and then we're like playing around in the parking lot after we eat arm wrestling. Next day, big day tournament. Place is packed crazy, you know, and he's arm wrestling, you know, on one of our side. We got side tables, you know, for warming up and all that, and he's already surrounded arm wrestling hundreds of people. Pulls in a tournament, back down in the crowd, and then all night long. We're outside in the parking lot. He's arm wrestling in the parking lot barefooted, you know, at 3 a.m. in the morning. And Josh grabs him. He's like, "Hey, we probably better get you to the hotel."
Like, do you want to go home? I'm kind of tired. We've been here till 6.
This is how he gets his training in. So, like, you know, I get super jealous of people because I don't train on the table as much as I would like to. It's just our squad. Everybody has different wackadoo hours and stuff at work. And, you know, we all got families. So we try to find time to do it. And, you know, Devin is at a spot in his life where he's, you know, retired military guy. So he can pretty much do whatever the fuck he wants, you know, and have time just for that. I will say this, though, and I want both you guys' opinions. When you have somebody of that caliber come to your tournament and they want to pull, and like Dan says, yes, you make everybody's dreams come true, because it's always nice for other people to grip up just so they can see, or I guess in this point, just so they can feel that there is levels to the sport. You know, I think some people don't get that. God forbid I use the word delirious, because some people do get delirious. And, you know, what you see on TV is one thing. What you feel on the table is totally something different, right?
Oh, yeah.
You don't know until you know. So I think it was awesome that you asked him, like, hey, could you pull in our tournament? Because you know he ain't going to turn that down. I mean, you know. So when he did that, of course, you know, everyone's kind of going. And what I liked about that is that it kind of reminded me back when I first started. When you had a big name at a tournament, and God forbid in your class, you're like, oh, man, I can't wait. Maybe I can slow him down. Maybe I can, you know, get a surprise hit him or something, or maybe somebody else can wear him down, or whatever the case may be, you know, where we had this funky era not too long ago where it was like people would cherry pick. They would like sit there. Once they find out a big name was coming, then, oh, I can't make it. I got to work on it. They won't come because they didn't want to take a loss. I'm like going, okay, you guys are being weirdos, right? But the fact that, you know, people say, hey, I want to test. I want to see, first of all, where I'm at in the sport. I want to see the different level. That way I can kind of gauge how far am I from that. Well, yes, Devin was pulling all night the night before, rolled in there. It ain't nothing new to Devin, right? So Logan had his opportunity. He took it, ran with it, off to the races he goes. What do y'all think about having an elite guy come into a tournament pulling so people can get the experience of that elite puller? What do you think about that?
I think it's pretty good. I mean, when I was coming up, just these guys being, I guess, more accessible. My first tournament ever was at like a WAL hosted tournament at like a B-Dubs. And I'm talking like Storm, Paul Lynn, Wayne Withers were all there, and you know,
cream of the crop,
right? Like, just get to grip up with these guys, and like I guess nowadays, all these dudes are on like East versus West, and you rarely see them pull tournaments. So I think it's really awesome to be able to like grip up with these dudes in a tournament.
Yeah, I think the same way. Like for Dad, like the dude, he's the people's champ for a reason, man. Like, he's down there amongst everybody, and I mean, even in the set, he's giving everything away. You know, like he's putting himself, like he's letting you have everything, you know, in the tournament, and it's just cool to see him, like the fun he had with everybody, you know. And I mean, you can go back and watch some of the videos and stuff, and like when he pulled Shane Owens and stuff. I mean, he's just like, what, you know, like patting him on the back, like, dude, that was like, you almost had me, you know, like, and the Logan match, you know, he was just like, there's a nice picture of, at the end we do medals and have him on the stands, and Logan's on the first place stand, you know, that left hand, and Devin's like this, you know, he's just like, it was awesome, you know.
Did Logan frame that picture?
I'm sure, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was a night we'll never forget, and it was you know, in Alden, same thing. Alden, David Lade was there, and Auden pool with everybody too. I mean, it was just, they're stars in the sport. So, and they were so kind and nice to everybody in that building. Everybody got to get a picture and autograph and all that. And the other cool thing about that event was, like, if you won first place in those classes, I mean, there were like 20, 23, 24 people in these classes.
Woo!
Like the amateur classes were like huge, and all the classes were huge. So if you placed, like, we had, I think, 13 states and 3 countries show up. So I mean, if you placed in those classes, you're a stud.
Well, I mean, Lucky said it's the best day for her in 2025. So
it was awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, if you go to one of those tournaments and you say you're like 20, 25 people and you place top 3, then you earn that. Let's be real. You earn
our
that.
biggest class was our 198 AMs class of like 26 dudes.
We had something similar to that. It was it 98 or 176 in Washington State? We had 27, and that took forever. That was amateur. I'm like going. Even the open guys were like, "Damn, man, are we guys almost done yet?" Because you know by now when you do a tournament and you're the open guy in the supers, you ain't pulling for a long time because it's
y'all
like
go AMs first.
Yeah, we go AMs first.
We go open first.
And maybe we should like turn. I honestly thought, I want your opinion on this.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't do it at my event because ours is a charity event, so it's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
But at a big tournament, I always thought if you go open guys first, it sets the tone, and that way these amateurs can kind of see what it's like and get them all ready. And then all of a sudden they can get all fired up, Because if you're a super, you're going, okay, I got to sit through the amateurs, 154, 76, 98, 242, 220 if you have it, 243 and over, left hand. Then you got the ladies and the masters, and you're like going, okay, now we got the open guys, but same thing, 54, 76, so on and so on. So I get all that. So hopefully you got 3 or 4 tables. But how many tables did you guys have, by the way?
We started with 2.
Yeah.
Which was not ideal.
Right.
350 entries. So we got.
Oh shit! 2 tables.
Yeah. So
we did have a 3rd table though.
We did. So when we got to left hand, which was usually we're done with the whole tournament. So we start at 1. Usually we're done by 5.
Okay, that's good. Good.
We finished right hand at 5, and I was like, "Holy moly, we gotta do another table for left hand." But I had 2 refs had to emergency leave, and we had to run two tables for the rest of the tournament, and we went till 11. So
damn,
10-hour tournament. We cranked it out though. Everybody was a pretty good sport about it because I mean, usually we're in and out in 4 hours. And this was 10.
Let me ask you guys this. What do you think you guys could do better? Because 350 entries, I'm like, man, that's big time. And to make sure you guys minimize so we're not there the entire day, is it having more tables? Is it making sure that the refs are like cranking the stuff out? Mm-hmm. Is it the bracketeers? I mean, what do you think, because I do that for my events. I do one once a year. And, we get about, last year we had 182 or something like that. We had 2 tables. I'm thinking about doing a 3rd one, just so because it's catered more to kids. But then we have the amateurs and the opens, and we got the super matches, obviously. So I just don't want people to be there all day where they're bored. We're like, okay, I don't want that. That's one of my biggest fears when I put on a tournament. What do you think could help you guys move that along if you could?
So I kind of set like a general rule of thumb. So anything over 200. We'll run 3 tables, and going forward, we've run 3 tables because we have a time limit at the venue. I think we got to be done by 7. So 3 tables, and it's just me. I've got like 3 monitors up, and I've got airs on here, airs on here, airs on here, and I'm just sitting back, just trying to watch everything. And I've got a couple guys helping me.
Right.
But we just roll through it, and the refs are kind of like helping the guys. Like the biggest thing for me, the time wasters is thanks Lucky. The biggest thing for me is those guys not running away after they win and like coming to me. So our refs are able to help with that. so I don't
Oh
miss.
God, can you? Those amateurs when they win and walk off the
Bro,
stage.
so excited. They just
Next
like,
thing I'm like,
and they just run away.
dude, like go to bracketeer, seriously, man, because then you're gonna be that one crying about we only got one loss. How am I already out? You know, that kind
Tell
of
me
stuff.
your name.
Yep.
Or their class is called up. So you should be, I mean, depending on where you're at, you should be around the stage. You should be somewhere near the table. And all of a sudden, you're too busy jaw jacking, or I gotta go to the bathroom. It's like, bro, and you're in the bathroom washing your hands, then it calls your name. You got 30 seconds, so you're taking a loss. Then it's stuff like that. I mean, it's little stuff like that that can, stretch out a tournament longer than it should. But I don't know. But so is the bracket guy that Lucky's referring to, is he doing it by himself, or does he have help too?
It's usually just me.
Josh is the bracket guy,
I do the yeah.
and he rocks it.
Are you doing the Aries thing or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So that's what we do. So it's a lifesaver to do that thing. We just smoke right through it. So I'm thinking, all right, this is awesome. So what else you guys got planned for 2020? And before we go, because I want to know something. I hear VAL, and it reminds me of TAL. And what those guys do in Texas is that it's a league where we all know Texas is a huge state where if you really wanted to just focus on that, you can just basically just stay there. I'll go to the regionals in South Texas, West Texas, North, Central, whatever. And at the end of the year, they all collaborate at Texas State in November. But if you win like a qualifier, if you win first place, and I guess it's a free entry to the state or something like that. How does the VAL work with you guys as far as like the state championships?
We kind of manage the rankings and stuff separately, I guess, through the super matches. The 4 events throughout the year are just individual tournaments. We've had thoughts of like maybe some sort of progressive thing with points throughout the year, but for us personally, it's just a lot to manage.
Mm-hmm. And the last 2 events too were so the past 2 years we did honored qualifiers on the last 2 events of the year.
Right.
So
I like that. Oh, there's my girl Katie, Oregonian. Yes, there she is. So I know, like in Oregon, speaking of which, we got this thing called the Triple Crown. So we're gonna have one in February, one in April, and then one in either September or October. And from what I hear, if you place first place in each one of those, then there's a big either cash payout or there's a surprise at the end of the thing too. So they used to have that where, because once upon a time before you guys got into the sport, we used to have 3 3 nationals, which was that in itself, but only one of them qualified you for Worlds. So we had the Unified Nationals, which is the one that qualified you for Worlds, AAA Nationals, and then we had the USAA Nationals. So if you won first place in your weight class in all 3 of those nationals, then there's a pot of money for you. If nobody won all three, then that money rolls over until the next year.
Oh,
so,
okay. That's nice.
Yes, I mean, that was pretty cool. But, that was the only reason a person would actually go to all 3 nationals to try to see if they can win first place and then say, hey, let's see if I can get the cash, that kind of stuff. Do you guys participate in like nationals or what?
I went to the Arnold's last year, qualifying from our event, but I haven't gone to any official nationals. I'm kind of also in recovery mode. I blew basically both of my tendons out in my biceps.
Ouch. What
I'm
you doing, man?
Just training too heavy and going to practice when I shouldn't go to practice.
Dude, don't start that Levon training, man. Don't cut that out, man.
I already did myself in, so I'm kind of taking it easy. This Byron match will be my first time on a table in a while. So,
well, since you got that going on, how do you feel though?
Not great. It's like you think you're good and you're going to the gym and then it just like starts aching again. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to push it. It's like a tendonitis type of deal.
Is it to where can you do like lighter weight?
I can, but I have to like really, really, really gauge it. And then
just enough where you got some blood going in there because
right.
that blood will probably take care of some of that pain, but No, I'm not saying go balls to the walls
For
because
sure.
I know you're talking to a guy who's dealing with arthritis, and it's like, okay, like there's some days it feels good, other days it don't. So it's kind of like this is the way it is sometimes. But I've been doing some and it's all in my wrist, by the way. So I've been doing some workouts, exercises that's kind of like, oh, okay, I kind of got this. Like I got, those the dumbbells that you can put the weights on each end,
Mhm.
I just use the actual dumbbell itself, stick it in a bucket of rice, and I'll just sit there and just do this just to kind of, build that forearm and then kind of strengthen that wrist and hand and stuff. And I do that shit religiously. And it's kind of taking some of that pain away. I'm not 100%, but it's starting to take that pain away. So it does feel kind of good. But, my man, I mean, this is for the hammer. This is for
Yeah, I
your
know.
baby.
That's right. I'm just gonna preload some ibuprofen and go at it.
See, Lucky's getting after it. She goes,
Yeah, I
Josh, you
know.
better get it together because you lose that hammer. I'm not going to let you live it down.
Yeah,
So
you
she's
were just
already
praying on
like,
my downfall like 2 comments ago.
she's always like, I swear to God, you know what Lucky's doing right now? When you're in the gym and you're feeling pain, she's in the window doing this.
No.
Oh, man. Dan, what you got this year? You plan on going to nationals or what?
Man, I got to get first in my state before I can think of something like that.
All right, we got a Carolina Chaos in the house. What's up, Mr.
What's up,
Ryan?
Oh, what's up, Ryan?
So,
Yeah, I got 2 matches coming up on next Saturday. So I got Voodoo on the left hand, and I got Jason Wright on the right hand, and that's a ranking match. So he's coming after my number 5 Virginia ranking.
So how you feeling about that?
I've never beat Jason. Dude's a stud. He has such a like high posting, like fast hit, like jar your arm kind of thing. I don't want to sound like I'm making excuses, but I've been injured since our August event.
Ooh, ouch! What you do?
The brachialis, like up in here. It started off like side of my bicep right here, and then like up more. And I've had this thing before, and I felt great at our August event. So Robbie Russell was at that event,
right?
And I ended up getting 4th place in my class. I think we had 16 dudes in that class, in the 198s, and felt great, And then after pulled a lot, you know how it goes when you feel great, like you go hard. And then I went to practice that next Thursday, like 4 days later.
Right.
Went hard at practice, after a tournament weekend. Then I went to the next practice, went hard again, and then like right after that, this thing started screaming at me. And ever since August, I've been dealing with this thing. I feel like I've lost my riser, like my hammer curl, So
well, you do know that adrenaline can only get you so far.
That adrenaline?
Yeah, that can only get you so far. Like it's weird because hear me out. A couple things. And I used to have that pain in my brachialis, and that, not trying to curse you, but that some bitch took forever to go away. But that was when I was a posting top roller. But because it was so sore, I had to do something else. I had to get away from it because when you're a posting top roller, you rely so much on that brachialis and that up pressure. When it's just constantly shooting that pain, you're just like, dude, I can't do that move. I got to do either come back to it or do something else. So
it's forced me to go inside. Like I don't feel pain in there, and I never was really a hooker. But since August, I'm addicted to arm wrestling, so I gotta try something different, So that's what it's been forcing me to do, put me in like where I'm not normally comfortable. And now I'm starting to get pretty comfortable in here, and I don't feel the pain.
You and I gotta talk, my friend, because I'm going through the exact same thing. But first, Macho Man says 7 days rest at least after a tournament. I mean, I don't go hard. I mean, trust me, I'm still the tournament's on Saturday. I'm still feeling sore at my age anyway, Tuesday and Wednesday. Then I'll start kind of getting to light stuff. But so my arthritis is in my right wrist over here. It's right up in this area. It's osteoarthritis, which is it's not getting any better. So, pronation just kills me. And when you get to a certain age, you just don't want to hurt, especially in the sport that we do, because your body's not meant to take that kind of punishment. Your body's not meant to torque yourself all these different directions. And for me, I'm thinking, you know what? I just don't want to hurt no more. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I want to not hurt. So pronating would hurt. Top rolling would hurt me. Then it got to a point where it's like, you know what? Fuck it. I go into a hook, that pain goes away. So it kind of goes back to what you're saying, Dan. If I go into a hook, then that pain, for some reason, it's not there. But if someone tries to top roll me, then it's like, oh, shit. And it shoots down here to my elbow. But that tells me that, okay, I need to clamp down hard with those bottom fingers and just kind of go, all right, chop roll me if you can. I'm going to scoop you in like this or whatever, or sweep. But I've noticed that in doing so, it doesn't hurt as much. It kind of reminded me what you just said. When you start going to a hook, hey, that pain's not, I don't have to, you're not using your brachialis when you go into a hook. Yeah. Now you go to a hook, now using all the muscles on the inside, where a top row, use everything on the outside. So I totally get that,
Well, and my hand, I like to use my hand and wrist. So that's why I like to normally go to that top, because I feel like that's kind of like my lane, Right. And but I'm trying to take it as a blessing in disguise. And okay, all right, now I got to be forced to go here and get strong in this lane, because I've never really gone in that lane, just here and there. But when I'm forced to in a hook, I don't have much of a fight, But now I would say my hook is better, better than it's ever been, But I've been doing red light therapy. I'll ice it, ice and heat, ice. Now I felt like last time I've had this brachialis pain one time before.
Yeah.
And it took 9 months to come back.
It's a pain in the ass, man. I'm telling you. I don't know why that muscle of all muscles, I can, hurt my bicep, but for some reason, give it a week or two, I'm back to normal. For some reason, that brachialis muscle, I don't know why, but it's a pain in the ass and it just lingers. You know what I mean? The Drew said, Jody, you're not taking those collagen peptide powders I recommended. It's helped my arthritis. You're right, I haven't. But what I have been doing is kind of working is that rice bucket with that dumbbell in there. And I'm kind of just doing this. I'm not moving my shoulder. I'm just like the things in the bucket. I'm just kind of doing this. So I'm working that. And like I said, strengthening the forearm, but it's also, working on the wrist. And it's starting to work. I got a surprise for a lot of people later this year. I ain't going to let the cat out of the bag, but I got a surprise later on in the year. But nonetheless, gentlemen, if there's somebody out there that you really want to challenge yourself, who would that person be?
I think I got to run it back with Bryce Meadows' right hand at 242 eventually, whenever he's free and I get better. I like to see that again. I beat him when he was just a wee 220 lad.
And you want to be like, okay, fresh for fresh. This is what we're doing. No ifs, ands, or buts. No tournaments involved. No, make sure you come in 100%. Make sure I come in 100%. Let's do it, right?
That's right.
Okay. I got you. Have you talked to him about that?
We've dabbled a little bit jokingly, but I'm sure this will be a surprise if he sees this.
Hey, you mean just put him on notice?
That's right.
And after all, you got both hammers, don't you?
I do. He's West Virginia though, so they're safe.
Oh, okay.
Keep them close.
Well, just make something happen. What about you, Dan?
Well, I would say I got two. John Williams, who's pulling JR.
Oh, that big dude? Well,
yeah,
he looks
John.
big.
He's big. He's one of my. I've never had a win on a stand-up table with him. I got one win on a sit-down table, but he's the day if I can pin John, I feel like I did something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then
Lucky's a mole.
We got We got him.
But then my other one would be voodoo on the right hand.
Okay.
Because it's been a while since we pulled a right hand match,
3
and
years
Right.
or longer.
yeah, it's been like 3 years. We pulled each other about 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago. It was like our first or second stand up tournament, both of ours. I'm up one. I got two. I beat him. I got 2 wins on him, and but he has leveled up so much since then. Like, I'm curious to see what it would be like now. I mean,
Right.
we're pulling left hand, this next weekend, but I'm curious to see what the right hand would look like once I get this thing healed up.
That's something to look forward to, because now it's like, you know what? Just let me get everything fixed on my end, right? And then when I'm ready to roll, hey, what's up? Let's do this, So,
Yeah.
question for you guys. Like, is there like a group of guys in a different state you guys just like have a battle with? Because like for us in Oregon, it's like, okay, it's either Washington or Idaho. So like for you guys, would it be like a thing with West Virginia where, okay, you guys get your guys, we'll get our guys, we'll meet somewhere and have it out and say the best state win? Do you guys have anything like that?
We could. The Princeton High Hookers are pretty good, and down in North Carolina, the Port City Pullers,
Mm-hmm.
solid team. We could probably do like a team v team thing with them.
Because that'd be kind of
They're all
cool,
solid. Yeah.
That would be awesome. Yes, yes. So who's going to the Arnold this year out of you two?
Neither of us.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I got 4th, I think. So I missed it barely. Then I did.
You said you went last year, right?
I did.
How'd you do last year?
I think I got 6th both arms. So
And they didn't do amateurs. They just all open, correct? I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because I know the year I went was the last year they had the 199 and over class. So check this out. So I went to the Arnold in 2019, and my class, because again, 199 and over, and I walked in there at 216. 27 guys in my class. So shit, my 2 losses were to Derek Smith and Robbie Burnett. So it's kind of like, well, okay, that's what it is. That was the year Paul Lynn won his class. Barbosa won his class.
It was in Ohio.
What's that?
It was in Ohio.
Yeah, it was in Columbus.
That's a long way for you, brother.
Hey, I mean, that was one of those tournaments where it's like, you know what? When I got into the sport, it was prestigious, right? Everybody went. All the big names were going. I mean, you had Saplinkov was coming here. Truber was coming here. So, I mean, it was a big deal. And so I was like, I always want to experience that. So I qualified one year, 2019, obviously. Went there, was like, oh, I want to go back. And I qualified for this year back in October in Canada. And I was like, okay. But now, if you look at the month of March, there's so many tournaments. I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, the same weekend is the Arnold is also the same weekend as the North America Championships in Ottawa, Canada. Then the following weekend, you got the other North America Championships in Las Vegas. So there's 3 tournaments right there. Then you got Winter Blast, right? There's 4. And then for some reason, the sit-down nationals got moved from April to March. Don't know why, but now you got 5 tournaments. It's like going, well, fuck, I can't. I would like to go all of them, but I can't, right? So I was struggling, and then I got a sponsor got a hold of me and goes, hey man, well, why don't you come to come pull? I got a match for you. Come pull Easton. Come to Kansas City. And I went there before, and I always want to go back. Pretty, good food, by the way. Go there. They got some studs over there in Kansas City. So I'm thinking, all right, we'll go do that. So 6 tournaments, right? I'm thinking, well, shit. And I still want to go to nationals the following month in April. So you really got to pick and choose. So yeah, I mean, as much as I would like to go to Arnold, I want to go back again, but not this year. I got my stuff already lined out because my goal is to go to IFA Nationals and then qualify for the IFA Worlds in Japan later this year.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So That would be awesome to do. But yeah, it's just, I feel like that the only way you get better, and I've said this time and time again, I live by it, I stand by it. You don't know how good you are until you compete outside your comfort zone.
For sure.
Right. So like, we'll use Lucky since she's in here, she went to the Arnold last year, got some experience, but now she's crossing the border. She's going to Canada, for that round robin. So now she's going to go, okay, this ain't like pulling the girls in my area. Now I get to go way over there on their home turf and smack some people around, So it's one of those deals. You don't know how good you are until you do that kind of stuff. I'm telling you, like, seriously, like, yeah, you could be you can go down to Roscoe's Barbecue Invitational and fucking smack everybody there, but it's like, okay, until you go somewhere else, you don't really know. So that's what I believe anyway.
Nope. I feel the same way.
Yeah. So there you go. So February 7th, and that's the Conquest, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Okay, so once we're out of here, I'm telling you, I'm gonna repost everything, and people, I got to get this point across. Once you see these, I'm gonna post the medals too. Once you see those things, I'm telling you, like, the color just stands out. You know how, like, usually when you see something red, you kind of stop and look. You kind of see the same thing, right? Okay, so when you think of cold weather, you think blue, whatever, iceberg blue. These blue, turquoise, teal, whatever you want to call it, they pop. I'm telling you, it's like going, wow. So if you're an amateur, awesome, a badass awards. If you got the, if you're pulling the open, you got the big long rectangle ones, and man, those are nice. Who designed those, by the way?
That'd be Dan. Dan hooked us up.
So you got the medals. My man over here is doing the brackets. Okay. Who designed the jerseys? That's what I want to know. Let's talk brass tacks over here. The jerseys.
Dan again.
Because I'm gonna post that too. Because those jerseys are nice. You got the like I said, all black.
Ago. This is
okay.
from last August.
That's attrition. Yeah.
I see the High Five Guys logo right there. So every year you guys got a different color or what?
It's a different tournament.
Yeah. So they're kind of each tournament's like color coded essentially, and we do an event shirt for every event we do. We have
okay.
Yeah, like the Devon event. So that was war. So we called it No Limits War, and then on the back of the jersey, it had Devon flexing, on the back of it, and there. So it was like a custom jersey for that Devon event.
Right.
And so every event's a custom jersey for Everett. We order a good handful of them and have our sponsors on the back and all that jazz. And yeah, it's a special touch, And,
I mean, I like that because not only do they have the sponsors, but then you have to go, okay, I want to make this one different from the last tournament. I don't want to keep doing the same one. There's a theme, like we talked about that. There's a theme there. I'm thinking, okay, that's cool, unique, because now it's like, okay, well, who else has one? Nobody else. Unless you went to that tournament, you're not gonna see it nowhere else. So
yeah, it's a. I told you earlier that so it's like a apocalyptic theme essentially with the four horsemen.
Yeah.
Yep. The white horse, the red horse, the black horse, and the pale horse. So that's conquest, war, attrition, and chaos.
I like that because see, and here's the thing, because nobody else is doing that. So every tournament has their own kind of theme. Because like, because I'm a sucker for awards, right? Okay, so I'm fortunate. I got my 2 dragons in the back on my mantle back here. So I was fortunate to go to Winter Blast, get the dragons. Who doesn't want to go to Michigan State to get one of those, gorillas, right? Or you go up to Canada, go to Ottawa Open and get one of those bisons. I mean, Lucky, she got. I think hers weighs like 12 pounds or something like that. Lucky got a gorilla. She'll tell you all about it. It weighs like 12 pounds. My dragons, they're wide enough, but they weigh like 9 pounds, whatever. But matter of fact, I grab one right now since we're talking about it. But and it was I had to be real careful to get on the plane because these things you had to be careful because the necks would break. So these things right here. So the neck portion right here would like snap. And I guess I was talking to Ryan Grondin, and he was saying that there are some people who won it. Like, I think, matter of fact, I think it might have been Robbie Russell who won one, and then I guess they like boxed it up, and when he got it, it came in pieces.
Oh, no.
dang.
I was like, fuck, and then Paul Passport won a couple, and his kind of cracked, and Lucky says hers weighs 12.6 pounds. Oh, okay, see, heavier because mine only weighs 9.2. But here's a story. So I'm at Winter Blast last year. I'm thinking, all right, you know how you go on a trip and you have a bag, but then you always leave with more than what you came with. So I go there, had a great weekend. Obviously, you got, 2 dragons. And then I'm thinking, well, shit, that's not going to fit my bag. I'm thinking, what the hell am I going to do now? I don't want to have, Ryan send it to me because then all of a sudden, guess what? If it shatters, it's like, fuck. So I'm thinking, all right. So, and I don't want anybody to do what I did, but I did it. So check me out. So I go to Walmart. I get a duffel bag type deal. Okay, cool. Brought it back to my hotel room. Let's just say I borrowed some towels from the hotel. Right? So I took a couple
packing peanuts.
Yeah, I took a couple t-shirts and I put the t-shirts. I put 2 t-shirts on each dragon. Right, cool. Then the towels I borrowed, I wrapped the towels up too, so that way, they wouldn't like clang together. They wouldn't like shatter by banging into each other. So I did that. And I remember getting on the plane because, you can put your overhead, you got your carry-on. So, I put the, backpack itself underneath me, but the carry-on had to go above. So, you know how you don't want to be that one guy holding the whole lineup. So I go to put it overhead. It's not fitted because of the, the shape of it. And I'm like going, fuck, it's not going to close. The door won't close. And then I had to like lay it like some weird way where it finally made it. So I'm thinking, all right, the whole flight back, I was nervous. I'm like, please don't break. Please don't break. Please don't break. But I got home and I was like going, yes, we're all good. So that was my experience with that. But yeah, so once upon a time, I think Florida had gator heads or something like that. So I mean, the different kind of trophies and stuff, I'm a sucker for. But color ones like you guys with the Virginia color, I'm digging that. Like that's spot on right there. So man. Good job on that, Dan, with the design. Good job on that with the shirts and jerseys and everything. So, man, that's big time. And like I said, once we get off here, I'm gonna repost everything, and people are gonna see that.
A couple things like that we're kind of getting known for as well. I would say would be, we're learning as we're going, but efficiency. I went to a handful of tournaments before we started this thing and whatnot, and a couple out-of-state tournaments and whatnot, and kind of saw what people do, and we're like, let's perfect this thing and become more efficient. We don't do no paper registrations or waivers. Everything's like QR code and all that. So the registration coming into the venue, everything's pretty darn streamlined,
Right.
And Josh was able to take it right from registration, the weigh-ins and everything right there, and he's able to take everything and copy it right into the brackets and all that, and we're that's our goal is to try to step up each event, and just get better and better at it, and just quality is kind of like key for us. Don't stretch ourselves out too thin. All this, we want to do some special stuff, really for 2026, higher level super matches, which Conquest right here. I mean, number 1 in the North America right here. Each, better super matches and all that. And we haven't announced anything yet, but we might bring a special guest. I'm not sure which event yet. We'll see what happens. I mean, things kind of just happen, So I don't know if it's going to be the war again or the next one, but we'll see what ends up happening. And we're talking to. I think there's some special stuff that might be happening in the future too. We'll wait to talk about all that till later.
Right.
But yeah, it's been fun. It's a fun for me, like I've always kind of been a workaholic with my business and job and all that, and
Right.
like this has been a nice little it scratched the competitive itch for me, like to have something to work towards, something to work out for, like, man, I need to get stronger so I can be better on the table. Like, gives me motivation to hit the gym and that kind of thing, and
Right.
to build something special. Because that was the thing when I first got into the sport. I'm like, all right, so who's number one in Virginia? And it was like, maybe this guy, maybe that guy. I was like, what do you mean maybe? Like, there's no rankings in Virginia, and so
Right.
that's kind of how this thing kind of morphed into what it is, and just to build something special, and have something special for the, this side of the country, and, never know what it might morph into, we get, we're working with all the other promoters and our North Carolina guy, Alan Vaughn, Ted, Adam Hoying out at Port City. We talked to Ryan, we talked to everybody. And,
Right.
When we schedule our tournament dates and all that, we're trying not to step on nobody's toes, and we just want to grow the thing, just like everyone. We want to grow arm wrestling. So,
I get that. Like, and I'm glad what's cool about it that you guys took that and then you raised the bar on it. Like, okay, good, because now all of a sudden, now you got a lot of people coming to your tournaments. Now you got, okay, well, guess what? We got the rankings. We got, hammers up for grabs. So it makes it more like, oh, okay, cool. This is something I want to do. So if you got that one guy or girl who just wants to kind of stay in that area and got to go, you know what? I want to conquer this first. And once I'm at a point where I can just, dominate people, then I can kind of work my way out of my area and kind of maybe go up north, go down south, go out west, or whatever the case may be, and just kind of go, okay, and see where you stand now. Because I'm telling you, it's an eye-opener. Even, Katie can, attest to that. When you go somewhere and maybe even a Worlds, a whole different. I mean, I think Amanda Marshall went there. I think she went to Bulgaria, I believe, this past fall, Worlds, and it's a whole different level, And like I said before, I can't stress this enough. Levels in the sport. When y'all got Devin to go there, you got people coming to pull him. They kind of realize, oh shit, is that what elite feels like? Well, shit, let me go back, and for some, just by Devin touching them and holding them, makes them want to go, I got to work harder on this.
Yeah. And that's the other thing with organization, like just the possibilities we can create. Like if states that don't have rankings and all that, it's just these past, years of us starting, I've seen other rankings in other states start popping up, and it's cool to see, because if we can get all the states all organized, and everybody, we all know who the number one guy is in, each state, then that just opens up many more matches and, so much more opportunity there,
Right.
And, yeah. So.
No, I totally get that. Well, gentlemen, I know it's late there. It's like a quarter to 11 over there your time. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. But I do thank you guys for coming on the show. I'm glad you're able to kind of give us some of that, like the South, like, arm wrestling over there, what it's like. I know more about the VAL now than I did before. The only time I heard about VAL, if Lucky was talking about it. But now I got a good idea about what is, the Four Horsemen. That was kind of cool too. So, heck, again, guys, Bart Woods, the head ref, February 7th. What city is it in again?
Richmond. Right outside of Richmond, Virginia.
Easy. Richmond, Virginia, right? There you go. I remember I had to travel through there. My daughter had graduated college in North Carolina. We had to we just had to go to DC after graduation. Yeah, you have to drive through Virginia. So you had to drive through on the highway.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but yeah. February 7th, it's gonna be cool. And then it'll be live on the you guys' YouTube channel, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
So hey, I'm glad I could do it. I will go ahead and post all that information up on social media as soon as we get off. But gentlemen, I'll let you guys go. Thanks for joining me. And yeah, we're gonna talk soon. So I want to hear more about this stuff. And Josh, please do not hurt yourself.
I'll stay healthy. I'll try my
best. Stay healthy. Dan, same thing to you. Stay healthy, my friend.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having us.
Everybody in the chat, thanks for joining us. Josh, Dan, talk to you guys soon.